Hello honey bunnies, welcome back. It's me, Jenny. How is everyone doing today? My crafty friends, I am so excited to show you guys how to make these starfish. I am so in love with how they turned out. Look how gorgeous these starfish look. I just am super excited to show you how simple it is to make them. So gorgeous, right? All right, let's get started because this is going to be such an exciting tutorial. So what we're using are these starfish from the Dollar Tree, which is from the Shore Living line. You get 6 starfish in here. So I use this to create my beautiful starfish, okay? This is one that we're going to do together. But I want to show you how to get these really fun background colors in a very short, simple, easy way. All right. So what I have here is the starfish that comes in the natural tone. Let me bring you a little bit closer. All I did is I have a little bowl with water here. I have my paintbrush here and I'm using watercolor paint. I love watercolor paint because it gives it that little that kind of like that washed kind of look to the projects. But again, you can alter this how you want. You can also use acrylic paint if you want, or you can use any kind of other method that suits you better, right? So you guys know me, I like my things to be quick and dry quick, so this really works when it comes to that, okay? So what you're going to do is pick the color that most is the color that you like the most, right? Obviously I'm like always into these pinky tone colors, right? So I'm going to dip my brush into the water. You can always spray. I use also a spray of water to activate a little bit of the colors. So we're going to use this beautiful color right here, which I absolutely love. And all you're going to do is just color in your starfish. Okay. Now, the less water you use, the more vibrant the color will look. Obviously, keep that in mind. If you want your starfish to be very bright in color, then you would probably need to do this a few times. And I would just recommend to use less water. Okay, now if you really want a color that really shines through and is really coated, then I would probably use acrylic paint for that, right? I wouldn't use watercolor paint because then that's gonna defeat the purpose if you want your starfish to be very bright in color and very bright, vibrant. So you see here, the starfish is already coming to a really fun pinky color, okay? Now I found that is such a fun way to change the color up if you mix some of these colors together, right? So I'm going to clean my brush a little bit here. And I'm just going to take a little bit out of the water. And I'm going to mix in a little bit of this dark purple color right here. And that's going to actually kind of do like a layer, right? A layer on top of a layer of your starfish. And again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, right? But if you want to get that kind of like pretty layered kind of look, that's how you do that. All right, you let your starfish to dry for about 5 to 10 minutes. It literally does not take that long because the watercolor kind of dries really quickly. Okay, we're going to put this on the side and then at the end of the video we'll see how it looks. Okay, so but that's just to show you guys a little quick way on how I get those colors on my starfish. Okay, so here I have one that I already kind of did. and I kind of prepared it for this video. So what we're going to use for the starfish, oh my gosh, okay. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I came across these little stickers that they're little dots. I said to myself, that would be brilliant. Now, my original idea was to use these stickers on a mermaid tail that I also have here that I bought recently. So I wanted to put these little tiny little circles on my little mermaid tail, but I thought, yeah, that'd be great, but wouldn't it be also great to add to the starfish, right? Because if you see here, the starfish has these little dots that you can kind of follow along. So I said, yeah, we'll do that. Why not? Let's experiment, right? And I think it turned out really beautiful. So I'm using these little dots to create my little decoration for my starfish. They have the big ones and then they have the little ones. I bought both because you guys know me. I'm a little nuts when it comes to stuff like this. So I always buy 2 or 3. So I bought a few of these and I bought a few of these. That is what we're going to use. However, if you don't have that, you can always go and obviously go into your craft room and get some sequins, some buttons. You can use some pom-poms. You can use whatever you have, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be these little dots. So here I have my dots. Now, what I did with my dots is I added a very tiny little double-sided dimension on the back, because that's going to give that nice kind of like dimension look to my starfish. I will tell you the reason why I also did this. Where is the one that I want to use as an example? This one right here. Okay, FYI, right? So these two look the same, right? However, if you look really closely, these have dimensions and these don't. You can kind of see it if I do it sideways, kind of. Let's see, can you see that? The dimensions in the back? So looking at it at the same kind of level, I find that this one looks much more appealing than this one, right? It's actually your choice. However, I also found that if I add hot glue directly to my dots, you can kind of see the hot glue on the back of the dots kind of melting a little bit the little circle, right? Can you see that? Versus not able to see it on this one. You see? This one looks actually okay. This one, if you come up close, you guys can see where the hot glue actually is. All right? It's not a big bummer, but I kind of don't like that. I'm just gonna be honest. I kind of don't like the way that looks. So to avoid my little bubble from kind of melting a little due to the hot glue, you can do 2 things. Not use the hot glue and use actually like wet glue, and that would help. Or you can do what I did here, which is I added my little dimensions on the back. All right, my loves? So we're going to add these little dots. And what I do is I like to kind of see how they look first before I glue them down, right? So in the circle, I'm going to put a purple one. All right. Then on the ends of the starfish, I have these pink ones that I have. So I'm going to put the pink ones on the end of the starfish, as you can see there. All right, you see that? Then what I did with this one is I added a little tiny ones to these side right here. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little tiny ones, all right, on that side right there. So I want to first glue down my stars that are in the edges. Let's do that. All right, let's glue it down. It's always good to have something to also kind of look back, which is what I'm doing here right now, because you know me, my brain is not that great in remembering anything at this point. So it's always good to have like a little cheat sheet. So I'm using this one as a cheat sheet, right? All right, let's glue the little stars that we have in the edge first. And you're going to glue them where the little dots are. See that? And this one. So I feel like I kind of feel that somebody's asking themselves, how did you make these little dimensions so tiny to fit in the little circle, right? I don't know. If you're asking that question, I feel like somebody's gonna ask that question. I just feel it, right? So what I did, they do have dimensions that are actually that small that you can actually add to these little dots. They do have them. However, I don't have them. And I wasn't going to go out to buy specific little sizes to fit my dot. So what I did is my regular dimensions that I use that I get from a Dollar Tree. If you have those, all you got to do is cut them in half the long way, right? Because you have this way and you have this way. Cut it in half the long way. All right, and you're gonna get 2 of these little strips. These strips, you're gonna cut them in 3s. So you're gonna get 1 here and 1 here. That's 3 little dots that you already have. I know, right? Brilliant. Same thing here. Cut 1 and cut 1. 1 little strip is gonna give you 3 little squares. Those are the little squares that you use to help you with elevating your little dots. I felt through the camera somebody asking that question, right? Let me ask you a question. Comment in the bottom of the video if you were that person that I kind of felt asking that question, huh? Yeah? Yeah. All right. So now that we have all the edges of the squares glued down, let's go back and let's do the little ones, right? Because here, the little ones, we only use 4 of the little ones. So we're going to add 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Again, you don't have to do that, okay? You can literally, if you want to make the little ones everywhere, you can do that too. When I say everywhere, I mean if you want to use the little ones instead of the big ones, by all means, do that as well. All right? You can do whatever you want, my loves. So for the little ones, I am adding a little dot of hot glue. That doesn't bother me too much because it's not really too visual. You still have that little dot in the center, but it's not that bad, to be honest with you. I don't know, for some reason on the bigger dots it was much more visual, and I don't know why, but it was. Okay, so now that we have the dots, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, I missed one right here, 4 5, this one right here. Now we have the little dots in there. Now we're going to finish it with the bigger dots, okay? So see how you want to arrange your bigger dots. So I have here, I have 2 of these green colors. So I'm just gonna add them the opposite of each other, sort of, kind of, right? So there goes the greens. And then I have, let's see, 2 of these. So I'm gonna add 1 here and one here, right? And for this one right here, I'm going to add this hot pink right there. I have to add a dimension to this one though. So let's do that. Let's add a dimension to this one first. And then we're going to glue this one down right in that center right there. So let's do that. Boom, right there. And then we're going to glue the rest. I suggest you to kind of layer it down to see if you like the way it looks before you glue it down, because then once you glue it down, it's going to be very, very difficult to peel. Not impossible, but difficult. So just make sure you know how you want to line them up before you permanently glue them down. Mr. Softy. That should be my intro music, Mr. Softy. Okay. Got one more, I think. Or do we have them all? Oh, we have them all? Oh, we did them all. Perfect. How long is this video? Holy crap. Okay. That's okay. We're almost done. I think I took too much time explaining to you, but that's okay. I don't mind, because I want to make sure that you guys, you know, understand what I'm doing here, and I don't want to leave anybody like saying to themselves, how does she do that? I'm like that. I'm one of those people that I'm very visual when it comes to doing things, so I like to keep things very like visual. Okay, so now we have our starfish done, but we're not done yet. We're not done yet. What I did here, and the rest of the other ones over here, is I added a pearl in the center. Well, not the center, but I added a few pearls to the starfish. We're going to do that right now, okay? And then we're done. If you don't have any pearls, don't worry. You don't have to really add pearls if you don't want to, or if you don't have any. If you have buttons, you can always add buttons instead of pearls, or you can always add pom-poms as well. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pearls to every starfish. And I also thought that it would also be a nice idea if you use those flat pearls. I have some of those upstairs in my attic, but I don't have it where I know exactly where they are. So I'm just using these round pearls. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to add each pearl in this little space right here. And that's just going to give it a nice little finished look to our gorgeous starfish. And that's it. And there you have it. Done. Project complete. There you have it, guys. That is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using these starfish in a very simple little artwork that we're going to complete in another few days. But for now, that is how we completed these starfish. I mean, I think they turned out beautiful, didn't they? Look how gorgeous these starfish turned out. I love them.